Timothy Cardinal Dolan, Archbishop of New York. Cardinal Dolan, always good to see you, although it would be nice to see you.
Savannah, thanks. We were just together Holy Thursday morning, and we were talking about the Holy Father. And I think we were all pretty realistic to know his health was fragile, but it still was a bit of a shock, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When I was awakened at 4 this morning to say the Holy Father's died.
Well, especially when we saw him, you know, on Easter Sunday.
Yeah, yesterday, out at the balcony, at least. You could tell he was fragile. You could barely move his arms, and even to say his Buona Pasqua, Happy Easter, was kind of strained. But then to ride around, his doctors had told him to avoid crowds. And there he is with 200,000 people riding around in the back of a Jeep, yeah.
The significance of him passing on the Easter Monday, how does that strike you?
High significance. I always say this, we can't choreograph the way we go. But if you could, this wasn't bad. So yesterday was the day that the Christian world celebrated resurrection, new life, that Jesus conquered death and shares his triumph with us. And then we wake up the next morning to hear that his representative here on earth, the Bishop of Rome, the successor of Peter, our Holy Father the Pope, had actually passed over, to borrow the word from our Jewish neighbors, from life here to life everlasting. You couldn't have choreographed it better. He was kind of into that. You know, we know Pope St. John Paul II was a trained actor. Bergoglio, Cardinal Bergoglio, Pope Francis, was kind of like a natural. He kind of knew the power of symbols. He was very authentic. He was very sincere. He didn't want to put on a show, but it came natural to him, the hug, the kiss, the blessing, the smile. And so I think you'd almost think he had planned it, which we know he didn't, but God planned it, and I thank God for the beautiful way that he went on.
When you think about this Pope and his legacy, I mean, I think you just put your finger on perhaps his most long-lasting legacy, which is that personal touch and his humanity.
There you go.
And his humility.
Good point, Savannah, because in substance, popes don't change. I mean, their job is to conserve, to pass on the solidity of the faith and the moral beliefs of the church as revealed in the Bible. And but style, the way he does it, and that was sparkling, and that was, oh my gosh, that was contagious. And that's a tough act to follow. He did it so naturally. He did it so beautifully. I'm walking over here. You know, people are coming up to me crying. People are coming up to me saying, we're not Catholic, but boy, we're sure going to miss him. A guy comes up and says, I'm kind of an agnostic, but I kind of love the old man. Well, this is the way he touched people. You know what? Thank God we had him.
I know you're headed to...
I go over tomorrow, Craig.
Going to go over tomorrow?
Yeah, I go over tomorrow. I was already booked because Pope Francis declared 2025 a Jubilee year. And so he said, come on, pilgrims. So I got about 200 from the Archdiocese of New York. We're going over for a week of prayer. And they're all right and say, are we still going to do it? I said, you bet. Our prayers are going to be intensified. It'll be good to be in solidarity with the Church Universal as we commend the Pope to the Lord. So I was going over anyway. I'll have a few added responsibilities because, you know, once the Pope dies, the day in, day out management of the church goes to the College of Cardinals. God help us all. So we would meet every day. And that begins tomorrow. I'll miss the first day.
What can you tell us about that? I mean, it's very secretive, of course, but what is it like to be there tasked with that solemn duty? You've been there before.
Yeah, I was there, Savannah, in 2013. I was honored to be there when good Pope Benedict stepped down. And it was awesome for me then. It'll be awesome again now, but at least I kind of got one under my belt. It's very intriguing. And we all want to get to know one another better. So the College of Cardinals, and I think there are 138 under the age of 80 that will go into Conclave, the lockdown. So we know of one another. We don't know each other well. And so that's why there's kind of a 2-week period between the death of the pontiff and the opening of the conclave. And we're together about 8 hours a day. And we listen to one another, we pray together, we discuss. And it's a very illuminating time. It was extraordinarily helpful and insightful for me 12 years ago. And I kind of look forward to it again.
Cardinal Dolan, what do you want to see in terms of the next Pope?
Well, you'd always, you know, when you get to be 75 like I am, you kind of got in your memory bank past popes. And you kind of are always dreaming of a blend of them. I'd love to see somebody with the vigor and the conviction and the fortitude of John Paul. I'd love to see somebody with the intellectual wattage of a Pope Benedict. I'd love to see somebody with the heart of a Pope Francis. How we can blend them all. We're not in some laboratory doing genetic mutations here, but that's probably what we would look for. Somebody with the same style of Francis, that warmth, that heart, that smile, that goodness, that embrace, and maybe within a little bit of a blend with John Paul and Benedict when it would come to more, what would I say, more clarity in teaching, more refinement of the church's tradition, more digging in the treasures of the past to remind us of what Jesus expects of us now. Probably a blend of the great popes that we've recently had. That's what we'd be looking for.
If you look at Pope Francis and you look at the doctrine and some of his speeches, his statements, his homilies, I mean, he doesn't fit neatly in any particular
Way to go, Savannah.
box.
You said it well. He was tough to categorize. He told us once, there was a group of American bishops when we met with him, he said, I have a great habit of getting everybody mad at me because people would be upset with them. You know, so on the one hand, he would speak about a much more sensitive, expansive role of women. And then the next day he'd say, absolutely no women priests. All right. One day he would speak about we need to be concerned about all life, not just the life of the baby in the womb. The next day he would compare an abortion to hiring an assassin to take an innocent life. He kind of was tough to categorize. We like tidy political categories. Yeah. You don't get them when it comes to a pope. And that's a style that I think is good, too. Tough to kind of put into a box.
Well, these are going to be fascinating days.
I think so.
Travels. Let's keep in touch.
You were there in 2013.
I remember it well.
Remember, you still owe me a Negroni.
Well, Your Eminence, if I get there, I'll make good on that.
I better know about it. Craig, you're sure welcome.
I think Cardinal,
weren't you there for?
I just saw you. I just saw you. They get their money's worth out of you, by the way.
You got me a great eggnog.
Your memory is amazing. Right. Cardinal Dolan, thank you. We will, of course, have much more on the death of the Pope.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.